first time I watched the show, I didn't really care about her. Like, she was just meh. She didn't make that of an impression on me, I guess. And I wasn't originally gonna make a video about her until someone mentioned it, and I was like, okay. The more I rewatched Grey's Anatomy, the more I realized that I don't like her, and I don't really know why. Like, besides the lvad wire situation, which was stupid, and then the kid, who I don't really like. Don't ask me why, because I don't really know. And sometimes Izzie being quite mean and bitchy. I couldn't really put my finger on why me and so many other people dislike her so much. I think she wasn't given that much of a chance, and the show gave her crappy storylines throughout the show. So let's take a dive on who Izzie Stevens really is and why people don't like her. This video is different than Owen Hunt's because I've seen many mixed feelings about Izzie. Some people that really don't like her and others that completely adore her. While with Owen Hunt, pretty much everyone was synchronized on hating Owen Hunt. So this is like I think it's very interesting, and I want to hear your thoughts. I don't know why I say hear your thoughts. I want to read your thoughts on Izzie Stevens. Oh, by the way, if I look a little bit dead, it's because I am. If you see that I'm squinting, it's because I woke up like half an hour ago and realized that I have to film because tomorrow I don't have time to film. And I stayed up all night yesterday reading The Summer I Turned Pretty because I want to watch the TV show, but I refuse to do that without reading the book first. So here's my coffee, and here's me without makeup because I don't have the energy to do that. So who is Izzie Stevens? She's part of the OG interns alongside Meredith, Christina, George, and Alex. She's a very optimistic person with a bubbly personality that contrasts the dark and twisted Meredith, and also contrasts my personality. And I think it's probably one of the reasons why I don't like her, just because of her personality, because we don't fit together, I guess. We're not vibing at the same level. She grew up not having a lot of money. Growing up, she worked as a waitress so she could save up for college, but her mom used most of that money for sidekicks, and Izzie ended up paying most of the bills at home. Became pregnant at 15 and gave her baby up for adoption at 16 so she could have a better life. She worked as a model so she could pay for medical school, and for the most part she wants to do good and see the good in people, but when trying to do that good thing, the execution is just not the best. And an example for that would be the whole Danny Duquette situation, where she wanted to save his life, but the way she did that was just not the right way. I think we can all agree that cutting the lvad wire was just incredibly stupid. This happened back in season 2 when she met Danny Duquette, a cardio patient who Izzie got too attached to. Izzie started spending a lot of time with him even when he wasn't her patient, and they fell in love with each other. Alex tells her that she can't fall for a patient, but she ignores him because she thinks he's jealous, which he was, but yeah, I think it's unethic to date a patient. I don't know. Danny was only alive due to his lvad. A heart became available, but Dr. Hand's patient had been on the transplant list just 17 seconds before him. The only way Danny could get on the list was if his condition worsened immediately. After finding out he signed a DNR, she desperately worked hard to find him a new heart. She tells him about cutting his lvad wire so he could get a new heart, and at first he refuses because she could lose her medical license and he doesn't want to steal a heart out of someone else, but ends up agreeing when Izzie breaks down crying and begging him. She cuts the lvad wire and the interns struggle to keep him alive. Izzie panics when they hear about Burke being shot and unable to operate on Danny. He proposes to her in the middle of chaos. What a romantic dude. Dr. Han does the heart transplant surgery successfully and Izzie accepts the proposal. Danny died of a stroke, leaving Izzie devastated lying next to his body. She then confessed to Chief Weber that she did it and quit the program because she no longer felt like a doctor. Sometime after that, she sees Christina stitching up a heart and finds her passion for medicine again. She returns to Saddle Grace, but on probation, and she eventually was taken off of it. And she received a check from Danny for $8 million. At first, she didn't know what to do with it. She could have given it to me, but whatever. She stressed out her roommates about it, and she ended up using it to fund Bailey's free clinic. So the thing with this situation, like, I understand the desperation of the fact that Danny's not getting the new heart just because someone did it 17 seconds just before him. Like, not even 17 minutes, not even 17 hours, 17 seconds. And I can understand how frustrating that is, but that doesn't equal to her cutting the wire just so, like, I don't understand what was going on in her mind. I understand seeing the person that you love, that you met 2 days ago, but the person that you love dying, like about to die because he is not getting a new heart. Like, I can understand that, and I can see how that can be very frustrating, but I just don't know how that can frustrate you so much that you lose your mind and do anything that you can, including the possibility of losing your medical license just over a man that you just met 2 days ago and apparently you love him. I wanted to compare this situation to Meredith about to lose her medical license in season 15 or 16 when she committed fraud, but I don't think it's a fair comparison because Meredith was already an attending, and in this case Izzie is just an intern that should have known better. You should know that you, under no circumstance, you should be doing what you just did. But I don't know, I don't feel like it's a fair comparison. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. But the thing is, just, I don't understand how the hospital can just let her into the program again after she just did that. Like, she should have lose her medical license or just not be able to come back to the same program because she literally killed a patient. Well, she didn't, but she almost did, you know. Now that we're done talking about Danny, let's dive into her other relationships, Alex and George. Before I start, I want to briefly mention that she's, I think, the only intern that didn't fall for an attending. Props, I guess. I'll start with George, since I don't have that much to say besides it should have never happened. This relationship flourished while she was struggling as a resident to get cases to work on. She got fascinated by George. Out of the intern gang, I believe that George and Izzie were kind of like the underdogs, and people constantly underestimated both of them, and seeing how George is no longer underestimated, like now they're seeing for what he's worth, she, I guess, got fascinated and, I wouldn't say jealous, I just can't find the word, but you know, she got fascinated by him because he was getting real cases and he got respect from all the attendants. She doesn't like Callie because George was dating Callie, or maybe he was already married to Callie at the time. I think he was just dating her when this happened. She doesn't like her and insists on Callie not being the right person for George, and finds every little detail for the relationship to end. After he has a bad fight with Callie, he has drinks with Izzie and end up sleeping together. They agree to keep it a secret since it won't happen again. Time went on and they realized they have in fact feelings for each other, and George tells Callie they start dating and soon realize that their sexual chemistry is non-existent besides that one time. I'll go back to this Callie Izzie George situation later on the video, but what I will say is that I don't understand at what point did they realize, we should put these two guys together when they never showed anything besides pure friendship. So I don't understand why they thought it was a great idea, because it's just after everyone that Owen has dated, these two, this relationship was just painful to watch on screen. Because why? Just why? So Alex and Izzie, they suppose love of each other's life. I don't want to go too deep since I already talked about this in my Alex correct video. Go and watch it if you want to know. But I don't think that they are right for each other. Maybe there's a slight possibility that they are the right person for each other, but wrong time. Every time they got together, like there was something stopping their way, such as in season 2, Alex was just not ready for a relationship and Izzie deserved better than someone like Alex at the time. But then when they were together in season 5, season 6, Alex was ready to take on the responsibility to be in a relationship and to do whatever it takes to, make the relationship work. But Izzie had other priorities. She had the cancer, and then, she did leave Seattle and left him a note that she was leaving and not coming back, accusing him of being the reason why she was fired in the first place. Instead of just talking to him, she just decided to leave. So Alex deserved better than Izzie at that time. So again, we can argue that they were the right person for each other, but it's just right person, wrong time, several times. They did end up together at the end, but only because they didn't know how to end Alex's storyline since he was leaving the show. And he actually went back to her because of the kids and not because he's in love with her. And he said that on the letter that he gave to Joe, and I think also in the letter that he gave to Mayor, like he specifically says that if it were about love, he would stay with Joe, and I will stick to that to the end. I already gave my thoughts on that situation on my Alex correct video, and I don't want to repeat myself, but you can clearly tell that I don't like them together. I actually don't like Izzie with any of the people that she dated for various reasons. I don't like her with Danny, mainly because I don't like Danny, and I don't like how she just lost her mind and did a very incredibly stupid thing just for a man that apparently she loves, but she met like a week ago. Like, I just don't understand how that can happen. I just don't understand how you're gonna lose your mind over a man that is terminally ill, that he's gonna die regardless, but he just met a week ago. Like, and you're gonna get married to him. I just don't get it. But I guess that when you're terminal ill, like I don't know what it's like to be terminal ill, so I'm just assuming here. So but I guess that when you don't have that much time, any time that you have, you try to make it worth it. So I guess it makes sense. I don't know. Let's move on from this shit show. I truly believe that Izzie had the chance to be a well-loved character for a lot of people, but the show didn't exactly give her that opportunity. The storyline about Izzie having a baby at 16 and giving her up for adoption so her baby could have a better life, and struggling to make friends because parents didn't want their kids to be close to Izzie, because apparently if their kids get close to a pregnant child, like they're gonna get pregnant themselves. Like, I don't understand their thoughts. And becoming a model in order to be able to pay for medical school, like I wish they would have explored that more and not just something that they mention in one episode and then forget about it. Like the fact that she didn't come from money and had to work hard despite all the difficulties that came her way. And I just wish that they dedicated more time on that rather than focusing on presenting her as an bitchy, awful person, which I mean she is. I don't think she is. I don't think she's an awful person. I think she's an awful friend, and her difficult background doesn't excuse it, but at least we'll be more empathetic towards her. And it bothers me that they dedicated a lot of time to Alex and Joe, the other two characters who also had a difficult time growing up. So why did they give them the extensive background so we can understand the reasoning behind the way that they react, the way they act and behave? But Izzie doesn't get that, huh? Like they always talked about Alex being a foster kid and having an abusive dad and a mom with mental illness, that he had to take care, as a child, he had to take care of his own siblings. And then Joe, who also was a foster kid, and had to live on her car, and then went into an abusive relationship, and then she met her mom, and her mom didn't exactly want to meet her because she looks just like her dad. Like, they focus so much on those stories, and I think it's great. I'm not complaining about that. What I'm complaining is that they didn't give that equal dedication to Izzie. And I think if they did that, if they had focused more on what she went through, I think we would have a different view on Izzie, and we would probably be more empathetic towards her, and we would like her maybe slightly more. I, for instance, wouldn't be so hard on Izzie, and I know I would probably like her at least. The lack of dedication on Izzie's storyline probably has something to do with the issues happening behind the scenes with Catherine, the actress that played Izzie. And in case you don't know about those issues, she was branded as difficult when she was complaining about working 17 hours a day in Grey's Anatomy, and which she's right to complain about that, because that's not legal and that's a very humane thing to do, because how much is she sleeping? That's just not okay. So she is 100% right in complaining about that. And everybody, like no one from set was on her side, and everyone just branded her as difficult. And then there was an occasion where she went through her Emmy nomination because she didn't feel like she deserved it, and people were calling her like egocentric and selfish and shit like that, which I don't see the wrong thing in doing that. If you don't think you deserve a prize and you just want to win through your nomination, then what's the deal? Why are people making such a big deal out of it? And if it were a man or someone that the audience and the public is scrutinizing against her, people wouldn't have had that reaction. So yeah, I think all of those issues that Catherine had with the producers reflected on how her character was viewed on TV, and probably the reason why she didn't really have that interesting storylines like Meredith or Christina or even George or Alex in that matter. And I think she also complained about that, like she wanted Izzie to have a bigger plot on the show. The only time they gave her a big plot was Izzie getting cancer in season 5, season 6, but only to ruin it when she left in season 6, making her look like a horrible wife and friend, because she left a note and making her look even worse and calling her stupid when she left because she wasn't continuing treatment on Seattle Grace Mercy West, but she was in fact continuing her treatment in just another hospital. She just didn't let Alex know. She was a bad friend to Mayor, and my guess is that she was somewhat jealous of Mayor's close relationship with Christina. Growing up, not really having friends, I can see how she could be, I wouldn't say jealous, but I can see how she see the closeness between Mary and Christina and wanting that as well and not having that. Like, I can understand how that can frustrate her to a certain point. And when I mean that she was a bad friend, whenever Mary wanted Izzie's help, Izzie wasn't really there for her and acted quite rude and bitchy despite living on Mary's house. I will give her a break because Mary could have been a just better friend, and she wasn't, because I think deep down she didn't really like Izzie because of that contrast in personality. I feel like that probably has some part to take in, but Mary could have been a better friend. But Izzie also could have been a better friend. When George was saying Kali, God, the things that Izzie said about Kali and the way she was treating Kali, disgusting. When Kali was staying at Mary's house and she went to the bathroom and she didn't wash her hands in front of Izzie, Izzie was just like, oh my gosh, she's so disgusting, she doesn't wash her hand. And she was sending all of that to George, and George, very stupid, believed Izzie before talking to Kali, like, hey, they're saying this, is this true? Which at the end of the day, like, yes, you should wash your hands after you pee, but that's not the end of the war. Like, you know, like, you're not gonna kill somebody, but I mean, I don't know, like, I think that was a very stupid issue that they gave too much relevancy. And then just many things. I think she was very disgusting toward Kali. And that one episode where Kali tells Izzie to meet her at the cafeteria, and Izzie expected a fight, like she assumed that they were about to, you know, get in hands with each other, and Kali just wanted to talk. I'll give Izzie a break because there was one time where Kali was she was very aggressive towards Mayor, and Izzie had to come in between them to separate them. So I guess he wasn't exactly in the wrong to assume that that's what Kali was going to do, but it was still wrong regardless, because you can't just assume that she's gonna come and hit you. But I truly believe that Izzie was just so incredibly mean to Kali. Kali was not my favorite character while she was dating George, because she was just, I don't know, she became a character that I loved later on, once she was divorced and realized that she's bisexual. That's when I started liking Kali. But I think Izzie was just very horrible towards her. Like, she owes Kali a very big apology. I've come to realize that I don't like her because the show doesn't want you to like her. The show had every chance to explore Izzie's background and to take a dip into who she is as a person and everything that she went through, to give her like an interesting plot rather than just portray her as a bitch with some questionable lack of judgment. But the show just didn't do that. Like, they could have done that, but they didn't, you know? And it's so frustrating because I want to like Izzie. In my opinion, the reason why I don't like her is because of that. It's because the show didn't care. Whether it was because of the issues with Catherine or because they didn't really care to explore Izzie a bit more. Whatever the reason the show has, I truly believe that that's why I don't like her. I truly believe that the show just didn't care about Izzie and just wanted Izzie to be there as a background character, and that's it. In season 5, when she had cancer, I remember that time specifically, like, I don't know if they wanted to do that because they wanted us to feel bad for Izzie and fear that, oh, is she gonna die? What is gonna happen to Izzie? I remember when I saw that, I didn't really care if she died. I really did not fucking care, because at the end of the day, like, the show never made me care about Izzie. So if she died, if she left, I was not gonna be sad. And I was not sad when she left. I was actually relieved. And again, if I feel relieved because a character is leaving, when the character hasn't really done anything wrong but being annoying, Maybe I'm just diving in too much and I'm just rethinking too much. I don't know. Maybe it's too early and that's the conclusion that I'm getting on right now, but I think I'm gonna leave the video like that. I think the conclusion is I don't like Izzie because the show made me not like her. There's more videos about Grey's Anatomy in the way, so I hope you don't get tired of them soon. Actually, I only have 2 videos planned, but I think I will make a few more. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on my next one soon. Bye.